All right, ladies, let's dive right into this explainer because today I am putting on my relationship coach hat to dissect a harrowing real life case study. We're talking about a wedding that was called off for the absolute most chilling reason. We're going to break down this incredibly powerful story of a woman who chose her own safety over, well, societal expectations. I really want you to just let the weight of those words sink in for a second. Not postponed, not delayed for counseling, completely and utterly canceled. It takes immense courage and just absolute clarity to pull the plug on a wedding entirely like that. And when she admitted that what she saw that night still sends chills down her spine, man, it became so clear that this isn't just a story about a bad breakup. No, this is a vital, literal, life-saving warning about recognizing the signs that can save you from a lifetime of pain, regret, and potential destruction. So let's analyze exactly what she saw. Part 1. The perfect illusion. The calm before the storm. So we always start with the illusion, right? When her fiancé took her to his family home for introductions, the setup was just perfectly normal. We're talking a welcoming family, comfortable jokes flying around, kids running through the house. Honestly, the whole shebang looked completely peaceful. And it's exactly this kind of warm, inviting environment that gives you a false sense of safety. You let your guard down and you think to yourself, I found a good family. But the escalation here was terrifyingly fast. The evening's peaceful family introduction completely vanished as the house got quiet. Strange sounds began to echo through the halls, and that led straight to a brutal midnight revelation. Which brings us to part 2, the ultimate red flag, when the mask slips. This right here is the exact moment the true dark dynamics of this household were totally exposed. The quiet night gave way to strange, unsettling sounds, and then loud screaming and crying. Finally, the horrifying realization hit her like a ton of bricks. The father was brutally beating the mother, tearing her clothes, dragging her while she literally cried for help. Standing there in the dark, she was just completely frozen in shock. But ladies, please listen to me closely on this. The most shocking part of this entire ordeal, it actually wasn't just the physical violence itself. No, it was the fact that there were 3 grown men in that house, including the fiancé she was about to marry, who sat there, did absolutely nothing, and acted like it was just another routine, totally normal night. Moving to section 3, the deal breaker, the danger of complicity. This was the precise moment the whole situation shifted from terrifying to an absolute non-negotiable deal breaker. When our narrator snapped out of her freeze response and wanted to actually step in to help the crying woman, her fiancé stopped her. And his chilling response? Don't get involved. It doesn't concern you. He then actually went on to call his own mother stubborn, claiming she, quote, overdoes things, literally normalizing and defending the horrific abuse happening right in the very next room. And this profound realization really highlights a fundamental law of relationship psychology. Boys who grow up sitting down and excusing abuse almost always become men who repeat it in their own households. It is a vicious cycle of complicity that transforms witnesses directly into perpetrators. Section 4. The future revealed. Seeing the writing on the wall. That night, the abused mother was actually forced to sleep outside her own house while everyone inside just ignored her, and that completely cemented the narrator's vision of her own future. Put yourself in her shoes for a second and ask yourself, if this man can watch his father beat his mother and defend it, who will I be in that house? In that exact moment, her future crystallized. She realized with absolute clarity that her life in that family would not be safe and it absolutely would not be peaceful. She saw exactly what would happen to her tomorrow. Finally, section 5, walking away is wisdom, choosing yourself. The next morning, there was no drama, there was no loud argument, just the absolute unshakable clarity that she had to pack her things and get out. She set a definitive boundary with 7 final words. Don't come to my family again. She powerfully chose herself, her peace, and her safety, over walking blindly into danger. Society is going to sometimes tell you that marriage is endurance. But as your coach, I'm giving you these non-negotiable rules to live by. Marriage is not a prison. Love is never, ever suffering. Ignoring red flags doesn't mean you're in love, it means you're in danger. And walking away from that danger is the ultimate act of wisdom. So, I am leaving you with this final, crucial thought. If you were in her shoes, if you saw these red flags, would you walk away? If the illusion shattered to reveal this kind of normalized violence, would you have the courage to save your own life? Trust your instincts, ladies, and never ever ignore the signs.